Welcome back to Ghost Pirate Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today I give you 10 more recommendations on HBO Max. And let's get to the list.
You can't save me.
So Last Night in Soho is a 2021 psychological horror movie. Directed by Edgar Wright and co-written by Wright and Christy Carnes, it stars Thomasin McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Matt Smith. It's about an aspiring fashion designer who mysteriously is able to enter the 1960s.
Last night, I saw something in my dreams.
However, the glamour is not what it appears to be, and the dreams of the past start to crack and splinter into something much, much darker. This is a stunning, absolutely stylish film, and I think Edgar Wright is at his artistic best with this gem. Sadly, I don't think this movie has gotten nearly enough attention on its release, but I'm hoping with its release on HBO Max that it'll finally get the love it deserves. It's mysterious and haunting, and to be honest, way more horror than the promotions made it look.
Believe in ghosts.
This is a beautifully made movie that I highly, highly recommend.
The Hunger.
So The Hunger is a 1983 supernatural horror movie, directed by Tony Scott and starring Catherine Deneuve, David Bowie, and Susan Sarandon. The plot centers on a love triangle between a doctor who specializes in age research and a vampire couple.
And life signs terminate right here.
So this movie looks like it fucks. It's just dripping in sex. The entire cast is 1980s new wave hot, and Susan Sarandon and David Bowie just sizzle on the screen. But this movie is more than that. It goes deep into losing one's beauty and aging and dying. And it does that in creepy, beautiful, creative ways. And this movie is very 1980s, but it's so artistic with so much style that it feels timeless. This really is a unique vampire movie that needs to be on your list. So DayBreakers is a 2009 sci-fi action horror movie. Written and directed by Peter and Michael Spierig, it stars Ethan Hawke, William Dafoe, and Sam Neill. The film takes place in a futuristic world overran by vampires, and centers around a vampiric corporation which sets out to capture and farm the remaining humans.
What happens when there isn't a single drop left?
So this is a great 1-2 punch with The Hunger, because both these movies are overflowing with charm and style, as well as having a unique spin on the vampire genre. And the look and style of this is just great, but it's also full of exciting action that gets pretty gory at times as well. This is another entertaining, stylized movie that's definitely worth your time. So EraserHead is a 1977 surrealist horror movie. Written, directed, produced, and edited by David Lynch, and stars Jack Nance, Charlotte Stewart, and Janine Bates. It tells the story of a man who's left alone to care for his grossly deformed child in a desolate, isolated landscape. But this is a strange, uncomfortable movie. And it's important to keep in mind, this isn't a film about the story. Instead, it's about the visuals, the sound, the mood, the overall feel of this movie. But I do think Lynch had things to say with it. I just don't think there's any overall real narrative to it. So because of that, you really have to be in the right state of mind for it. But it's not for everyone by any means. But for fans of modern art, horror, and film, this is an absolute must.
I need to engage in homicidal behavior on a massive scale.
Hey, Paul!
So what do you
you do?
I'm into murders and executions mostly. I have to kill a lot of people!
So American Psycho is a 2000 satirical horror movie, directed by Mary Herron and written by Herron and Genevieve Turner. It stars Christian Bale, William Dafoe, and Jared Leto. The film follows Patrick Bateman, a New York investment banker who leads a double life as a serial killer.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
It's a satirical movie blending horror and dark comedy seamlessly, mocking the 1980s yuppie culture and consumerism. And this is a slick movie that even makes gore look stylish and sexy. It's also a really fun watch with a twisted sense of humor. But the masterful way this is directed really puts you into the mind of Patrick Bateman. It just makes it look fun to be insane. And this is such an iconic movie. It even got its own Ice Nine Kills song this year.
Hey, Paul!
This movie just never gets old no matter how many times you watch it, so definitely check it out.
I want to go with you wherever you go.
Do you?
Yes.
Then look!
The Brood.
So The Brood is a 1979 Canadian psychological horror movie. Written and directed by David Cronenberg and starring Oliver Reed, Samantha Eggar, and Art Hindle. The plot follows a man and his mentally ill wife, who has been sequestered by a psychiatrist known for his controversial techniques. And a series of murders surrounded by mystery serve as the backdrop for the central story. So after seeing Cronenberg's latest film, Crimes of the Future, I've been on a mission to try and watch his films that I've missed. And this is one of his earlier films that I'd yet to see, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. I had a great time with this movie. It's a drama slowly building throughout with moments of horror. But it's truly the final act of this movie that really gets it. It's wild body horror craziness at its finest. So if you're a fan of Cronenberg or body horror, this is an absolute can't miss. So Monsters is a 2010 British sci-fi drama horror movie, written and directed by Gareth Edwards in his feature-length directorial debut, and stars Scoot McNairy and Whitney Able. So the film takes place years after a NASA probe crashed in Mexico, which leads to the sudden appearance of giant tentacled monsters. The story follows an American photojournalist tasked with escorting his boss's daughter back to the United States through Mexico's infected zone. This is a fantastic slow burn and really a hidden gem. It's powerful with moving performances by Scoot McNairy and Whitney Able. They just really make you feel their struggle. And it's a grounded movie that just makes you feel like these giant monsters could really be in our world. It also asks some really deep questions about who the real monster is. This really is a brilliant gem that I highly recommend. So The Faculty is a 1998 teen sci-fi horror movie, directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by Kevin Williamson, and stars Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall, Josh Hartnett, Famke Janssen, and Elijah Wood. So the students of Harrington High always think the principal and the teachers are a little bit odd, but lately they've been behaving positively alien. Controlled by otherworldly parasites, the faculty try to infect the students one by one.
The teachers, something's happened to them.
What are we gonna do? Look, we have to go to the police.
No, I'm telling you, they've got the police.
We don't know what they've got.
Jace, what's gotten into you?
We just have to trust each other.
So for a late 90s teen horror movie, I'd argue this is one of the very best. And it's wild how underrated this movie is. It really has a who's who's cast of young stars who all give great performances in this, as well as fantastic special effects and great sci-fi fun. This really is a great popcorn horror movie that I definitely think you'll enjoy. So Hostel is a 2005 horror movie. Written and directed by Eli Roth, it stars Jay Hernandez and Derek Richardson. So when best friends Jay and Paxton decide to spend the summer backpacking across Europe, they stop in Amsterdam to indulge their taste for drugs and sex, where they meet Oli, a like-minded traveler. So the three backpackers set off to investigate rumors of a hostel, where they find themselves unwittingly drawn into a deadly game of pain and torture. This is an absolutely fucking savage movie, and it completely changed the face of horror at the time for better or worse. Lately, I've just found a new appreciation for Eli Roth, just the gritty way he envisions horror, and the pain-inflicting style that he captures. He just comes right at the audience, forcing you to be uncomfortable. This is a fantastic example of his vision, and one that I think is an absolute must-see.
We changed his DNA.
Mimic.
So Mimic is a 1997 sci-fi horror movie, directed by Guillermo del Toro and written by del Toro and Matthew Robbins, based on the Donald A. Wolfram short story of the same name. It stars Mira Sorvino, Jeremy Northern, and Josh Brolin. So when a cockroach plague threatens to decimate the child population of New York City, evolutionary biologist Susan Taylor and her associates rig up a species of Judas bugs and introduce them into the environment, where they will mimic the cockroaches and destroy them. Things go well until the bugs continue to evolve into their next prey, humans.
So you think your little Frankensteins got the better of you, huh?
They all died in the lab.
But you let them out. Evolution is a way of keeping things alive.
Sometimes an insect will evolve to mimic its predator.
This is a wild popcorn creature feature at its 90s best. It's full of campy, entertaining dialogue with creative special effects and just all-around horror fun. I think this is a great one for your Saturday night. So grab some popcorn and your candy and enjoy! Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know if there's anything else on HBO that I missed, something else I should check out, because your recommendations help me out so much. Also, if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and ding that little bell, because that's the best way to keep track of this channel and when I post videos like this, and I post videos like this every single week. I also want to give a huge, massive, enormous thank you to my patrons, because you guys, yeah, your support seriously means so much to me. And if you would like to find out more about becoming a patron, the link is down in the description. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button. And remember guys, horror can be fun. I will see you guys next time.